I love teaching. I fell into teaching by accident. I hadn't planned to be a teacher. And in the latter stages of my teaching, I had come across this organization through a colleague who said this would be a great thing for the setting we were at to know about. Facing History had this totally organized, rationally put together with all the considerations of a well thought out set of resources and curriculum. And we gobbled it up. Facing History's notion is to really consider in a face-to-face way what's happened in the past. But then as quickly as you've done that is also the mirror. Because the idea isn't that you're looking from the outside at something distant and distinct from you, that if you truly give it that consideration and look at it with respect, you'll actually find yourself, unfortunately, in those stories. That's not just a window, it's a mirror. If Facing History is merely an academic exercise, something has gone wrong. The whole notion is that, one, it tries to make the school experience relevant in ways different, I think, than some organizations have. So I think it has to be one in the classroom begins this sense of connection to the material, but boy, if it stays there, something didn't work. So there's an experiment that was done by a woman named Jane Elliott. She continues to do them, I think, to this day, where she breaks people into blue-eye and brown-eyed differences and gets them to actually act in ways that you can't believe. People so quickly reduce themselves to believing that one group is less than the other on this mere suggestion, with some amazing technique she has to manipulate people to see the truth, quote-unquote, of the difference between the two. And then they go through behavior that they have to look back on and feel horrible about. So you often wonder, whoa, do you have the right to put people in such harm's way, to make them see this lesser side of themselves when they would have never behaved this way, probably, had it not been for them experiencing you? Well, the flip side is, you say, my God, this is the ultimate educational experience. I've now had to, instead of read about this in a book or see some film about it, I've had to experience the truth of myself and the potential I have to fall victim to some demagogue suggestion that I would follow through immediately on. And I toss and turn over whether she's right to do that or wrong to do that. And I have to end up by saying she's right to do that and she's wrong to do that. And I have to live with that, I think. The Zimbardo experiment, which is with prisoners, not with prisoners, is with college students who enter a so-called prison situation, went horribly awry. And he couldn't even see the role he was playing. He had to be brought to reality by a person who eventually, I think, became his wife, who said, "What are you doing?" And he didn't see what he was doing. And what he was doing and what they were doing, and he was doing by being quiet and not stopping it, was horrific. And none of these people were horrific people, so to speak, before they entered into this behavior that happened just through the suggestion that they're prison guards and inmates. Having said that, I hear that story and I look at Milgram and I look at the blue-eye, brown-eyed experiments and I think, my God, none of the people who were in these could not have been changed, much more so than the standard teaching technique, which is so safe. And as a result, does it transform us, or does it just, is that the easy way out to keep things going the way they've always gone?